It needs to be done in the fruit of the Spirit. You have to do it lovingly, joyfully, patient, kind, gentle, etc. Okay? So what we've been dealing with in Proverbs is that other half of it. The half that has to do with how we do it, why we do it, what's behind our hearts and our thoughts as we do what he says to do. Because I don't think any of us want to spend forever with a bunch of people that are only there because they felt like they were forced to do it, and they didn't really want to do it, and they're kind of miserable about it. Know him in all of it. So have that relationship with him so you understand what's motivating him so that we know what should be motivating us in the doing of what he says to do and the not doing what he says not to do. And if you don't know, if you don't understand, you should have enough things that you do know that says, well, you know what? I don't know that yet, but it's okay. All the other things I know prove enough for me that I should just be trusting him. Every bit of the Torah is for your benefit. It's not for his benefit. He said, hey, I could raise rocks up to do this. He said to Moses, hey, why don't we just kill all of them and start with a whole bunch of new people? I mean, I can't just keep doing that if I need to. Just keep wiping them out, start again, wipe them out. I'll get what I need eventually. Why do you think it's been so many generations? Only so many in each generation are figuring it out. They're understanding the relationship that he desires. It took many years to really hit me that these were fishermen that were freaking out. Okay? I don't go on a lot of boats. Little boats, fishing boats, that kind of thing. So I don't know how I would feel when a huge storm is coming and water's flowing over the edge of the boat. I may panic before the guy who goes out there and does it for a living. But these are fishermen who are freaking out. They're used to being on boats in rough waters. And they're thinking, we're going to drown. But they're not thinking, but we have our safety and protection right here in the boat. We're not going to drown. Don't let the evidence that's in front of you confuse you with the reality that Yeshua is right there. But a lot of you are still allowing people to have headship and authority and have a crown or a piece of that throne who are not in that alignment. They're not aligned with Yahweh, and you give them authority. So you still have covenants, which is why part of the 8 declarations is to ask Yahweh to annul any and all agreements you may have made, even conscious or unconscious, and not even aware of it, with any and all authorities that are not in line with him. We have to be careful that we're not taking a man's and guidance of his group and turning it into Torah. Some of you out there is like, oh, he's disrespecting Paul. No, I'm not. I think Paul would be shocked to think that his stuff was called Torah. I know he would. As a matter of fact, he'd be offended to have his stuff held up as if Yahweh said it, which is why Paul often said, this is me, not Torah. He didn't always, but there were times when he said, this is me. This is my opinion. But we start walking around treating certain things that were written in some of the letters as if they're Torah. If you are a mainstream Christian listening to me, you're not going to like what I say most of the time. So why are you listening? Go listen to a mainstream Christian. You'll love it. Why are you listening to me? I mean, this is like I remember as a kid listening to one of those shock jocks in New York that was on the radio. And people would call in about his show and hating his show. And he would always say, so turn the channel. Nobody's making you listen. He says, I will provide every need. Part of that is people in the middle. But they don't get to insert. This is the problem that you have. You allow people to insert themselves in between you and people or you and him instead of you choosing who gets to be there. Did you hear what I said? You allow people to insert themselves in the middle instead of you vetting and taking the sovereignty of yourself to say who should be allowed that position. That's faith. It's not the name it, claim it faith. It's the he said it, and so I should trust it faith. Not the I said it, so he'll back it up faith. We kind of got that inside out. It's the he said it, I believe it faith, not the I said it, he's going to back it up and give it to me faith. Well, you claimed it. Well, because you know what we do? The claim it people are going to claim anything Yahweh said that applies to maybe specific people and claim it for themselves. But in all of this, he says, if you take the reproof, it brings the wisdom, it brings the understanding, and this is more valuable than silver and gold. Why? Because it's going to bring you all the abundance. You don't need to seek after silver and gold. Seek after doing what he says, and the silver and gold comes.